Well, good morning. Time for our devotion. I thought I'd bring out my new mask, see if everybody likes it. I can tell you I can't keep this on very long because I can't breathe. I think I'm going to pass out. If I do pass out, one of you might call 911 and get somebody over here to get the mask off. I'm doing this because I heard some national leader yesterday said we should all wear masks to show to show commonality with everybody. All right, that's gotta come on. I can't breathe. So he said that we needed to show. Look at that, man! I got hair going everywhere now. That's all right. Anyway, so some national leader said that we all need to be wearing masks to show solidarity, and so there's my mask. I don't think I can wear that for very long, and I think I will pass out. But I thought about, since Dane is now working at the bank, I thought about wearing that into the bank. What do you guys think? And I'll put some gloves on, big long shirt on where nobody can see, and see how nervous they get when I come in. So, but anyway, that's it today. That'll be what's famous today. In the devotion, the crazy antics of the crazy one. And so, anyway, I heard, I thought it was funny, little girl in our church, just a little 2-year-old, I was preaching Sunday, and she turns around, looks at her mom and her brother, and says, "He's crazy." Yep, he is. So, thank you, Julie. I'm appreciate somebody working on bail money, so I think they take cash only, so might have to get some cash. So, but don't use change because we have a shortage in change too. So, anyway, I don't know. It's one of those days. It's getting a little heavy already this morning. Just hearing some things, and people are just constantly going through issues, and I'm doing another funeral on Friday, and just a small one, real small funeral for someone. But, it breaks my heart that I had some other lady call yesterday and asking, hey, do you do funerals? And it's like she's looking because I don't know if her pastor won't do them or their church won't do them or what, but I'm not just a funeral pastor, and I do want to be a help in this community, but it's just kind of strange. And I was thinking, you know what? If she is a member of a church somewhere, and that guy, and I have heard that there are guys in town that just flat refuse to do a funeral right now because of this COVID junk. Anyway. They need to just walk away and find a pastor that loves them. So anyway, that's the thoughts of the day. So I would definitely suggest that don't make a mask out of jeans because you cannot breathe in them. So, and Sean, I see you're on here. I don't know if you're trying to get a leftover tag. That started at 9 o'clock this morning. So my poor wife is sitting in there by the computer trying to get me lined out for an extra tag. So I don't know if she can figure out you got to have about 3 master's degrees to figure out the Colorado Parks and Wildlife system on their drawing tags. It's crazy. But anyway, let's get serious. Okay, let's get into the devotional this morning. And I was reading about Josiah, and Josiah came on. Manasseh had been there 55 years, had been a vicious king. Right at the end, had gotten his heart right, and and great, we see God's goodness there. And then his son comes on, only serves as king for 2 years, and they wipe him out. And so then the people pick Josiah, and Josiah becomes a king and is a godly king, and loved the Lord and loved the people, and it really was. It's just, when you read this, you see a peace in the country, even with all the chaos that's going on around them. There was a peace in the country, and he did a good thing, and it just reminded me of the kind of legacy that we need to leave behind. And let's leave behind a legacy that is one that honors God and loves the Lord and loves people and make a difference in their lives. And I was thinking about this gal that called about a funeral, and it's always helped me. Old guy said years and years ago, he said, when you go and you take a church and you become the pastor of the church, he said, also pastor the community, and whether they come to your church or not, pastor the community. And it has helped me, and one of the ways that I've pastored this community is by doing all kinds of funerals, and most of them are with people that I have some kind of contact with. This one on Friday, I have contact with them and know her husband, and she actually called our church her church, and she just watched it live stream and hadn't been to church in years. She's been there a few times. She was there a few times before we were moved into our new building, but just called it her church. And we just need to love people and love our community and make a difference. And Josiah did that. Josiah, go back and read it sometime in 2 Chronicles 34, 35, and see all that he did, and had a great revival during his reign. And you can go into 2 Kings and read more about it also. And it says that when he died, and right at the end, he did something that he shouldn't have. God was trying to warn him not to do it. He did it anyway. He ended up dying. And after he died, this is what was said about Josiah in 2 Chronicles 35. And Jeremiah lamented for Josiah. And all the singing men and singing women spake of Josiah in their lamentations to this day, made them an ordinance in Israel, and behold, they're written in the Lamentations. And there was just a celebration, and they missed him. And and that's what we need to do. And we see here that Josiah, first of all, wanted to do what was right with God, and we need to do the same. Let's walk with God. Let's be what God wants us to be, and then and when we do that, then we're going to make a difference in the lives of people. And so let's love people, and let's help people in their walk, and in whatever issue they're going through. Help them to get through that, and to walk and love the Lord, and because it's only the Lord that gives us that kind of peace. And then I read that, and then I get over into my part in Psalms, and I was reading Psalm 27 this morning, and here in Psalm 27 and verse 4, 5, and 6, he says, "One thing have I desired of the Lord, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord, and to inquire in his temple." And so here David writing this and saying, and he gives us a picture of peace, and as he comes to worship God, and during this time when David was writing this, it was a tabernacle, and so he'd go and he'd worship God, and it was there that he said, I don't want to leave this. I don't want to leave the worship and the presence of God in my life, and it was represented through that tabernacle. And for in the time of trouble he shall hide me in his pavilion. In the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me up upon a rock. And now shall mine head be lifted up above mine enemies round about me. Therefore will I offer in his tabernacle sacrifices of joy. I will sing, yea, I will sing praises unto the Lord. And when Josiah is getting things right in the country, and in setting up the temple. They had a massive worship service there. The only one that I believe that compared to that was the one that Solomon did in the dedication of the temple, and it was just peaceful. And when we're doing the right things and we're honoring God, there is a peace. Even they had chaos back then. Egypt was coming in and fighting against others, and the Babylonians were rising in power. I mean, there was all kinds of chaos going on, but in their little country, they were having a complete peace. And here David, writing with all of the enemies around him, he said, I find my peace in that worship of God, and in how we need to find our peace there too. And I know this is Old Testament, and the tabernacle isn't the church, but our church today is a place where we come together and we worship together, and we're encouraged together, and we magnify God in all that we're doing, and it's all about Him. It's not about us at all. It's all about Him and helping each other, and truly finding our peace there in our worship of God, and then it carries on and carries through daily in our lives. And so that was the thought, and it really sparked more, even as I read in Getch today in the revival. This is what he said. Gypsy Smith was a great preacher, and it said that he went across the Atlantic 45 times, preaching in America, preaching in England, and back and forth he went. And Gypsy Smith wasn't an educated man at all, but God used him greatly in his life. And this is how he described his life in his own words. He said, I didn't go through your colleges and seminaries. They wouldn't have me. But I have been to the feet of Jesus, where the only true scholarship is learned. And then as I think about Josiah and how God used him, I think about David and how God used him, and the heart to serve God, and sitting at the feet of Christ. And here Gypsy Smith, used greatly by God also. And then Getch writes this and asks these questions. Will you spend time with Jesus today? Don't rush into your day without a lesson at His feet. A reading of His Word and careful meditation on its truths will equip you for the challenges you face in a far greater way than that business magazine or book on leadership or blog on the internet. And as Jesus said, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and learn of me. And we need that. We need to spend time with God. And if we're really going to be used by God, then let's spend time with Him and let Him talk to us and speak to us through His Word. And David wrote there in Psalm 27 verse 11, teach me thy way, O Lord, and lead me in a plain path because of mine enemies. And here we need to allow Him to teach us in this crazy day, and all of the burdens that are going on, all of the issues that are going on. I just read, I read this morning, it wasn't even local, but an 11-year-old boy committed suicide, and they're thinking that part of it is because of this lockdown and the little guy not being able to socialize with anyone. And I mean, it's just, it's crazy. And we need to learn the way of the Lord and to serve Him with our hearts and our lives. And people are looking, and we need to give them the truth and show them. And Lord, lead me in a plain path, in that level, upright path that is there, because the enemy is real, and Satan would love to destroy every one of us. And then he goes on, verse 14, wait on the Lord, be of good courage. That word wait there, I mentioned this before in preaching, but that word wait, it's not just a patience, but it has the picture of being twisted and stretched and causing tension. It's kind of like a rope, or like a tow rope, and where it stretches. And there are times where God stretches us, and we wait on God to show us what it is you're doing, Lord, and help me to understand. And it's during that time that we're getting stretched. And And it's during that time, be of good courage, and he'll strengthen your heart. And so we need to do that and understand that God is the one that needs to be honored and glorified in our lives and all that we're doing. And then I read this in Oswald today, and it's a reminder that it's all God in our lives. I mean, it's not our natural abilities. It's not, our charismatic personality that wins over God. It's a heart that just trusts in Him. And it tells us here that Oswald made mention of this. He said, as long as you think there's something in you, God cannot choose you because you have ends of your own to serve. And he's right. And he says, we're apt to say that because a man has natural ability, therefore he will make a good Christian. It's not a question of our equipment, but of our poverty. Not of what we bring with us, but of what God puts into us. Not a question of natural virtues or strength of character, knowledge, and experience. All that is of no avail in this matter. The only thing that avails is that we are taken up into the big compelling of God and made His comrades. And the comradeship of God is made up of men who know their poverty. He can do nothing with the man who thinks that he is of use to God. As Christians, we are not out for our own cause at all. We are out for the cause of God, which can never be our cause. We do not know what God is after, but we have to maintain our relationship with Him whatever happens. We must never allow anything to injure our relationship with God. If it does get injured, we must take time and get it put right. The main thing about Christianity is not the work we do, but the relationship we maintain in the atmosphere produced by that relationship. That is all God asks us to look after, and it's only one thing that is being continually assailed. And man, is that not the truth? And we just need to understand that God's the one that we need to worship, that we need to serve. And Josiah understood that, and God used Josiah, and was recorded in the history of the kings as one of the best kings that Judah had. And so let's be that. Let's give honor and glory to God. Let's find our peace in our worship of Him, and in all this chaos around us, let's just draw closer to Him and understand that we do nothing without Him, that He's the one that gives us strength. He's the one that carries us. He's the one that helps us through all of these times, and He's the one that stretches us, and He's stretching us that He'll strengthen our heart and make us more of what he wants us to be. So anyway, those are the things that I saw today, and pray that they be a blessing to you. And remember, word of caution, don't make a mask out of jeans, because you cannot breathe out of that and you will pass out. So, but it's a good day. It's a Tuesday. Let's get out there. Let's serve the Lord. Let's show people a little bit of normalcy, and that's through our worship and praise of God, and serve Him. So you guys have a good day. Have a safe day, and keep looking up, because one of these days we're going to hear the trumpet, and that'll be a good day. So God bless you guys.